Good morning. Welcome to Cindy's Kitchen. We are so glad that you are here this morning. We do a Facebook Live every morning, Monday through Saturday at 11 o'clock, so we're glad you're here. If you're new and you'd like any of the recipes that you see on any of our shows or would like to watch past videos, then please go to our YouTube channel, also conveniently called Cindy's Kitchen. Good morning. What's cooking on Cindy's Kitchen today? We're going to start out with Susan's Yummy Bread. Now, I know that's probably not the name of it, but that's what I'm calling it, Susan's Yummy Bread. Oh, I can't wait to eat it. And then after that, we're going to follow up with a ranch bacon chicken bake. Yum. Casserole day. All right, so let's start with Susan's bread. You ready? Here's what you're going to need. Ooh. I have a big baking sheet that I put a piece of parchment paper on. I just got a loaf of French bread. So you know what a loaf of French bread looks like, and cut it in half, long ways. I went ahead and put butter on both sides. Have you buttered your buns? Today we're gonna butter your buns. There you go. All right, so you've buttered both sides of the bread. We're laying flat. Now, to the top of the butter, we're gonna add some garlic. Now, this is granulated garlic. And so I can't remember if she said garlic or garlic salt, but I'm gonna salt my tomatoes, so I think we'll be okay. So now I'm putting garlic. Oh, how much, Cindy? I don't know. Do you see me shaking here? Really, you wanna sprinkle garlic until you make sure your butter is covered. That's where I'm going. I'm going with cover your butter. And really, it's garlic bread. Can there be too much garlic? I think the answer is no. Okay, what kind of butter, you say? I use that Kerrygold Irish butter. Yum! But you can use any kind of little butter you have, okay? All right, so we spread butter, or we cut our bread, we spread the butter, we put on some garlic. Now, look at this. Oops, I gotta get them. Slices of mozzarella. Sliced mozzarella. Now, this just came from the deli. Had them slice it to like a 1 or a 2 or something. Anyway. So here we go. Now, I have noticed at the grocery store that the packages of French bread that used to be this wide, they keep getting smaller. Look how, that's not wide at all, really, right? Oops, garlic went everywhere. It's not really wide. That means it needs more garlic. It's not as wide, they're thinner. So I got a little nervous because these are kind of wide, and then I thought, so I'm gonna put them on in kind of a diamond pattern. And what that means is that the cheese is gonna go down instead of just sitting on top. Does anybody have a problem with the cheese going down on the sides of the bread? Tell me if you do. I'm so sorry, So I'm gonna slightly overlap the cheese because, again, no such thing as too much cheese. And I'm gonna do both sides. Let me move bread slice A. Ugh, reach, Cindy, reach. Okay, so I put 5 slices on that one, so probably 5 slices on this one. Yummy. I love mozzarella. It's a good cheese to use because it doesn't have a harsh flavor. It's very mild, and it's one of the first cheeses I think the kids really enjoy because it didn't have that a bite or something like that. So, heavens no, yummy. I know, Denise, right? Okay, so we have our bread, we have our butter, we have garlic, and now we have our mozzarella slices. Okay, to the top of this, we're gonna add tomatoes. Now, I'm very lucky, I told you how blessed I am. Lucky beyond belief. I have a friend that has a garden. And hi, Melinda, good morning. And so she has a garden, and so she brought me tomatoes. So if you can look, I sliced up the tomatoes. Some of them are red, and then some of them are this beautiful orange-yellow color. So good. All right, so I just sliced them, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch thick. Can you see how thick that is? That's about how thin I sliced that. Now, I'm gonna put these on, just on top, and I'm trying to decide, Susan, should I overlay the tomatoes or should there not be overlay? Susan, are you on? You should help me, dear. Okay, this is your recipe. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it pretty. I'm gonna go an orange one and a yellow one. Although, I mean a red one and a yellow one. I'm not certain that I have enough to complete my pattern, but we're gonna give it a shot. Susan's not answering me. Maybe she stepped away. All right, so on we go. Hey, Linda, good morning. Where am I? I'm on yellow. Yellow. This was, now not all of these are huge tomatoes. Some of these are a little smaller. So I want to say I cut up 4 tomatoes. If you have big, huge, the big, huge tomatoes, you could probably get by with 2, but you want tomatoes all the way across. Now, again, I overlapped mine just a smidge. If I hope you can see, because if I lift this up and tilt too much, the whole thing will go flying, right? Okay, there we go. Do you see that? Yum, pretty. Now, and I didn't use them all, so I shall be eating those later. Oh, I have to show you this. Let me slide the tomatoes. Can you see that pattern? It's called Moonlight, and I think it's one of my new favorites. Moonlight, ooh, ah. Okay, to the top of our tomatoes. This is what I don't remember if she said to do this or not. But I'm gonna do. I'm gonna salt, and partly because I think all tomatoes need salt. So Susan is still not answering me, and I know she's watching. I can see you, big sister sees you. Anyway, so I'm gonna salt the top of my tomatoes. Yummy, yummy. Okay, and then just because, I'm gonna put a little pepper on top of mine too. I like salt and pepper on my maters. And quite frankly, it's just a pretty color, isn't it? The little black speckles just makes it yummy. Okay, pepper. And so when I do this recipe, I'm just gonna say sprinkle pepper, you know, a pinch, right? Or whatever. And I think that's it. Gosh, I hope that's it. I hope that's it. All right, so now what we do is you preheat your oven, but you put it on broil. Hopefully your oven has a low broil and a high broil. We're gonna put this on low broil. Now the funny thing about this is, Susan said, I'm not gonna give you the time of how long to bake it. And quite frankly, usually somebody burns it. I'm not saying who it is that somebody burns it. So we're gonna try to keep an eye on this, but probably about 5 or 10 minutes. What we want is we want the cheese to be melted. Oh, parm, that's what I forgot. See, if she would, I know there was something else. We want the cheese to be melted, the mozzarella on the bottom and the parm on the top. We want our tomatoes to be a little wilted. So they're not gonna be too smushy, right? So it's not like baked tomatoes where, you know, they're just gushing out. But because we've sliced them, they will cook, you know, and you'll get that deep flavor. Okay, so I've put a little bit of parm on top. You ready? You ready? Nobody's talking this morning. Okay, so this is going in the oven, low broil, and then we're gonna have to move. Then we have to go to the stove. All right, you ready? Come on, let's go. You ready? Come with me. Come on, come on. Oh, you're very tall. Come down, I'm short. Okay, in the oven it goes. The oven is on low broil. So now we're gonna start making our casserole, okay? We're gonna start by boiling some noodles. And you know I always have to do a little bit ahead of time because if not, we'd be here all day. And you don't wanna be here all day, do you? Love the shade. I know, isn't that pretty? I have another one that's in Dragonfly and I loved it, but I really didn't have anything in Moonlight and I really wanted it. It should be yummy. I hope so. We'll taste it in a bit. Maybe some fresh basil on top when it's done. Good idea. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken a package of, a package of pasta. Now I'm using, this says penne rigata. Penne rigata, but penne pasta, right? So if you want to know what that looks like, let me get one for you. La la la. Okay, it's hot. It's hot. You see it? It's like a little tube. A tubey. Woo, very hot. Woo, the tube is hot. Back in you go. Okay. I went ahead and boiled the pasta. It's still sitting there in the water, which doesn't bother me at all. You'd love to be there all day. Well, I don't think everybody shares your enthusiasm, Melinda. So now, normally you'd think I would do this in a skillet, this next set, but I didn't want to do it in a skillet because if I do what I'm going to do in the skillet, then I have to do the skillet and then I have to pour it all in a bowl and then pour it all in a baking dish. That's too many dishes for me. So I didn't want to do that. So I have 2 of these. Luckily, I have 2. And so I'm going to go ahead and saute in this one and then add everything in here, mix it all up, and then we can pour it in our baking dish. Okay? All right, so here's the deal. You have some options here. You can, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. You can cook 4 or 5 pieces of bacon, and when it's crisp, take it out, and then leave the oil that's in there, and then put your onion and garlic in there. I didn't do that. I'm just using, where is it? Hold on, bacon. I'm using bag o' bacon. That's what I'm using, the bag of bacon. And so because of that, I don't have any good bacon grease. And quite frankly, oh, it's favorite pasta. That's great, Jan. Because I don't have a coffee pot, I mean, you know, the empty coffee can full of bacon grease. I should. I do love it so much. But I used to, but I stopped doing that. I was trying to be healthier. Ew. Anyway, so I've just put a little oil, and it's canola oil, in the bottom of my skillet. I've got my on a high, medium high, and I've cut up 1 onion, and so there's the onion cut up. I've diced that up. This mushy looking stuff right there is 4 cloves of roasted garlic that I smashed. I smashed it up just so I didn't want to get like a big one. I wouldn't mind that, but somebody else might. So now I'm just going to put all this in my oil to saute. Okay, in goes the onion. And I'm gonna just go ahead and put the garlic in now. Normally I put the onion in first and I wait for the garlic because you never want your garlic to burn. But I think if we just pay attention to our pot, we'll be fine. Now, anytime you cook an onion, give me the salt. Anytime you cook an onion, you really do need to salt the onion. I've talked about before layering flavors. This is partly a layering flavor, but partly is the salt allows the onion to sweat, to release its liquid, and we want to do that, okay? So we're just going to keep an eye on this until our onions are soft and translucent, okay? While that's happening, let's get some other ingredients and talk about ranch dressing, shall we? All right, let's talk about ranch dressing. Oh, hold on. I got to show you, we're going to need all that. Okay, I gotta show you this. You see this? Have you seen those boxes that you open the box and things fly out and there's candy and there's a little cake in the middle? Philip got me one of those. Hey, Gisette. Doris, I know, you're good. I'm not. Watch. So there was like 5 of these in, and I opened the box and this is what happened. Oops, oh, you can't see, but it like, they flew, they were all wound up, and butterflies went everywhere. Ah, it was a little surprise. Hello, butterfly. And so it was butterfly, and then it had a little candy, and then it had a little cake in the middle. It was really cool. So, all right, who likes ranch dressing? Who does not like ranch dressing? So tell me yes or no. That's all you have to do today, yes or no. If you're a yes, I like ranch dressing, no, not really my favorite. Tell me. And then we'll talk about the history of ranch dressing. Here we go. You ready? Ranch dressing was created in 1949 by a plumber turned cowboy. Can you believe that? Jim likes ranch dressing. There we go. Linda does. While working as a contract plumber in Alaska, Steve Henson started cooking for his coworkers and perfecting his buttermilk dressing recipe. 5 years later, everybody likes it. 5 years later, he moved to California with his wife Gail and bought a ranch. His famous buttermilk dressing soon became a staple at the dinner table of Hidden Valley Ranch, and before long, the Hensons started selling it to guests and local supermarket. Over 2 decades later, in 1972, the couple sold their name and the recipes to Clorox. That should give us a little, not as a dressing. Okay. Sold it to Clorox for $8 million. Not bad for a little buttermilk, mayo, and herbs. Can you believe that? The average American consumes salad dressing 38 times a year. Really, that's all you'd think it'd be more. And 15 of the 38 are ranch dressing. It is by far the most consumed dressing in the United States. Can you believe that? Okay, checking the onions and the garlic. My kitchen smells lovely. Okay, to that, I know you're gonna freak out right now. We're gonna add 8 ounces of cream cheese. I've brought this to room temperature and I went ahead and cut it into little squares. Delicious on chicken wings. Yes, it is. You have to go to Costco and get it. Okay, so I'm going to put in cream cheese. And I'm also going to put in 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Now, if you're looking at the store, Sometimes the thing says heavy cream, other times it says heavy whipping cream. Don't think that it's, I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit. And don't think that it's sweet. It's not. Heavy cream, heavy whipping cream is all the same. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add, I gotta see what I gotta add. I add the cream, okay, I need a whisk. We're gonna whisk until, there we go, ranch, but okay. Just until we melt. Do you have something in the broiler? Oh, I do, thank you. Okay, I'm taking it out. I think we're good. I don't wanna turn into the ones that, oh my, you can't have it yet. We'll put it over here, we'll see it in just a bit. Thank you so much. Who said that? Thank you, Linda. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're whisking. Welcome to Cindy's Kitchen, where we burn everything. See, I just made fun of Susan's relative, who I'm not saying her name, Susan's relative that burns the bread every time, and Cindy almost burned it as well. That would not be good. Okay, so all we're doing is melting the cream cheese into the heavy whipping cream. And remember, we had our onions and our garlic in here. So once we've left it on the heat, once we're getting that done, we're gonna add some ranch dressing, some salt, pepper, and some cheese. All right, so here's the ranch dressing. I don't have the little packet, I have the Costco size. That being said, it's fine. I'm gonna turn this down just a whiff. Before I put this in here, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put about a cup of pasta water. Here's my pasta over here, my penne. I'm gonna go ahead and put about a cup. Well, how do I do that without getting the pasta? There we go. Okay, I'm using my ladle, so it may take just a, hold on. Let's do this, watch this. Linda, you are my lifesaver. I would have had burnt, okay. I would have had burnt stuff everywhere but for you. Watch this. Ta-da! Okay, that's the way you do it. You want the liquid? You just use your spider so the noodles won't go in there. And then you get all the liquid. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I outsmarted the noodles. All right, so I'm gonna give that a whisk because why do we add the pasta water? I know, thank you so much. Why do we add the pasta water? We add the pasta water because when the pasta cooks, it has all that gluten in it, that starchy gluten, and it thickens up our sauce. Okay, we need, hold on. Oh, here we go. I got stuff everywhere today. We're gonna add a teaspoon of salt. I know we already added a little bit, but we're gonna add a little bit more. We're gonna add a half a teaspoon of pepper for your paprika. We don't have to add garlic powder or anything because we added actual fresh roasted garlic. Isn't that awesome? And now our ranch. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons. If you're using a packet, I'm not exactly sure how much is in a packet. If somebody knows, you can tell us. But even if you're using a packet, just because I'm unsure of how much is in there, because usually it says ounces, not tablespoons, we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of the Hidden Valley Ranch. This is seasoning, dip, and salad dressing, because you can make either one with this. I like ranch dressing dip. Sometimes I'll do the other, but you know, there we go. Okay, we need some parm. Where did my parm go? We're gonna use, about a 1/4 cup of parm. In we go, 1/4 cup of parm. La la la. And we need a cup of mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. In we go, because what are we doing? We're making our cheese sauce. A cup of mozzarella. Now, use your whisk and let's go to town. Our cheese, because our cream cheese is already melted, our heavy cream is yummy. Everything is melted. Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh, you want to see it again? Look, 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 look. Oh, look how cheesy that is. I'm cheesy. Okay. La, la, la. Okay. Now, we got to add some actual food in here. I'm using just a bag. If you have leftover chicken, you have a rotisserie chicken, you have something like that, put that, use that shredded. You can use shredded. This is diced up. Let me show you what it looks like. It's diced up chicken. It was on sale, and so that's why I bought it. And I like having the chicken, the frozen, already done in the freezer. And that way if I'm doing a recipe, life is much easier. Okay, so about 2 cups of cooked chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and put in, the original recipe did not call for bacon. I'm gonna put in about a 1/2 cup of bacon. It did not call for bacon in the recipe, but come on, really? Okay, giving this a stir. La, la, la. Oh, so good, so good. It's just cheesy. Cheesy, I tell you. Now take your spider. Does everybody have a spider? Everybody have a spider? Nobody's talking. All right, take your spider and your pasta. We're gonna get our pasta out. If a little bit of the water goes in, you are good. It is all good. If you want to, if you don't have a spider, you can go ahead and drain your pasta. Just remember that you need at least a cup of the cooking water, as you're going. So don't like pour it all down the drain, because then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have the cup. So I like these noodles, the penne, because not only do they have ridges on the outside, but they, I'm turning the heat off. Okay, there we go. Done. Not only do they have ridges on the outside, no spider, love the spider. Well, you gotta get a spider. I think everybody needs a spider. They're not expensive. And I think you could probably get them at like the grocery store even, maybe. I don't know. I think I got mine at that, place that starts with a W. Okay, so now we have chicken. Well, we have an onion, we have garlic, we have chicken, we have bacon, we have parm, we have mozzarella, we have heavy whipping cream, we have cream cheese, salt, pepper, oh my gosh. But you know what? We need a little bit more Italian seasoning. So I'm just gonna put in just a whiff, whatever you have, okay? Whatever, like a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I just want some more flavor. One of my biggest complaints about a lot of recipes that I see and try is that, yeah, it's okay, but it's not great. And if something's gonna be, if I'm gonna eat it, if my family's gonna eat it, well then I want it to taste great. Now, I've got some fresh basil here, and I'm gonna go ahead, instead of cutting, I'm gonna use my scissors, handy dandy kitchen scissors. So I'm just gonna cut my fresh basil so that I've got some yumminess in my casserole all the way down. If you just stack it all on top of each other, then you don't have to cut one leaf at a time. Okay, we're gonna move. Are you ready to move? We gotta go somewhere else. So sorry. This is like 2 movements in a day. I know, you're like, really, Cindy? Be still. All right, let me see how hot this is. I think I can do it. You ready to move? Let's go. Up, 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 up. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna need a baking dish. Now, I'm using a big round baking dish. And you're gonna say, how big is it? I don't know, I had my ruler just out, but I don't know where it went. Okay, this one is a round one that is 12 inches. You can use a 9x13, and when I type up the recipe, that's what I'm gonna suggest, a 9x13. Because most of you, I like the spiral pasta for casseroles too. Lots of nooks and crannies. I know, and there's a hole in the middle, so sauce can get in the hole. So most of you have a 9x13, and I do too, but I just like to mix it up. So I'm using a big round one, and because when it's done, then I can just put that out there and go, ta-da! Okay, so you give your baking dish a spray, not me, but give it a spray, and now we're gonna dump, me and my dumping, look at the cheese. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna turn this way, just so, because I don't wanna leave any of the goodness. You think it would fit in a lasagna dish? Yes, it would fit in a lasagna dish. Now here's the deal. You don't have penne, but you have everything else in your house. It doesn't matter. Use elbow macaroni if you want to. Use whatever pasta you have. Just because I'm using penne doesn't mean you have to. If you have a favorite pasta, use that. If you're not doing gluten, I don't know what the substitute is. I know they have gluten-free pasta, so maybe you could do that. Okay, now, we've got all this done, and that looks absolutely yummy. However, that being said, we are going to, there we go. This recipe takes 2 cups of mozzarella, 2 cups. I'm just in time to eat. There you go, I know. So I'm gonna take the other cup. Remember, we put 1 cup in our sauce when we were making it, and it's all melted already in here. We're gonna take the other cup and sprinkle it on top, okay? If you'd like, you can also put a little parm on top. Should we do that? Sure. We'll put just a whiff of parm, okay? La 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 la, nuts, cha. Okay, and then here we go. I want everybody to know, one of the things I think on top of whatever you're doing, I think you need a little bit of everything just so people know what's in store. So I'm also gonna sprinkle just a little bit of bacon on top because I think you ought to know that this is a bacon cheesy yumminess. And there you go. And you may think that's all the bacon there is, but then you're gonna dig in and it's gonna be yummy baconness all the way through. We're gonna bake this. Oh, let me get my stuff. We're gonna bake this on a preheated oven for about 20 minutes, okay? 375, 350, whatever you wanna do. I would probably say 375 and then bake it for about 20 minutes. Really, you just saw everything we put in here is cooked. Good morning, Alice. I know it does. It's easy too, and I think most people, these are all, there's nothing scary in here. It's pasta, it's cheese, it's chicken, it's bacon. I don't think there's anything scary on here. You could add some green onions if you wanted to. You can add some more fresh basil or fresh parsley. So if you don't have that. So there you go, easy peasy casserole. Now, is Susan still on? Susan, you have not spoken to me. I know you're lurking. I know you're lurking in there, Susan. Come on, talk to me, sweetie. Let's have a sip of coffee. Oh, yummy. Okay, you ready? Here it is. Look at this. Oh, ooh, ah. Have you ever had an issue with Polish pottery in the oven? No. I've been buying from Rebecca for 9 years, never had any problems. Delicious, good. Canadian bacon and mushroom would be great in it. Yes, Jennifer. Okay, I'm gonna get my cutting board. I'm gonna take this little one, little meaning the bottom half, and I'm gonna give us a cut. Oh, I had to cut through a tomato. Poor tomato. Look at that, the cheese. Look at that, the cheese just ran all down the side. That does not hurt my feelings. Okay, look, there's my piece. It has a little bit of a red tomato and a yellow tomato. The cheese is brown. Look at that. It's like, oh, look at that. Who doesn't like that? That's yummy, yummy. Okay, here we go. Hold on, I would add peas or broccoli. No need for a separate veggie. Very good, Gail. The recipe will be on our YouTube channel. Caitlin, yes. Welcome, glad you're here. We also have a YouTube channel, Cindy's Kitchen. All of our videos are usually posted around 1 o'clock of the day of the video. You can go back and check, and then there's a little pull-down menu, and the recipe's right there. Ready? I'm excited. Here goes. I got some mayo all over me. Oh my gosh. You know, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect because I've never made this before. I took a chance because I trust Susan. So good. The tomato is just soft enough and it's warm. And that's why it ran down my arm. And the mozzarella and the parm the parm gives you a little crust. The mozzarella is just creamy. And then underneath, you can taste that butter and that garlic. And really, so pretty. If you've got a lot of tomatoes, you're looking to use up tomatoes, or you're just looking for a different bread, this is a yummy, yummy. I know, right? So, today, We did Susan's Yummy Bread. Look at that. I could have that for a meal. That would be okay for me for a meal. And then our big casserole, the ranch bacon chicken bake. With lovely penne pasta and bacon and cream cheese and yumminess. We're gonna put that 375 degrees for 20 minutes. It'll be all bubbly. The cheese will be all melted. So whenever we're ready to eat, there you go. It's been a great day, I tell you. If you just joined, if you've never been here before, we're so happy that you did. If you're a regular, welcome back, sweeties. We love you here. What? It's backwards. It is backwards. I will see you guys tomorrow at 11. You're moving in with me. Okay, Denise. From my kitchen to your kitchen, I hope you have a yummy, cheesy day today. And I will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Have a good one. Bye-bye.